Hello, my name is Yugian, and welcome back to the 12 days of content. This is day 4. Why am I holding it like a retard? Oh well. Yeah. Today is conversation, obviously, because I'm talking again, because I promised you guys it would be on day 4, is we're going to be talking about the rank 4 tech that everyone's freaking out about in crossover breakers, being rzyeal. A very, very easy rank 4 toolbox deck. If you don't know what a rank 4 toolbox deck basically is, it basically spams out as many level 4s as possible, gets as many rank 4 exes on the field as possible, literally fit for every situation. And I'm not joking with you, that is very much possible and has happened in the past. With one specific rank 4 deck being extremely heavily hit. And if you want to take a guess on that, what would be? That was Zodiacs. Basically, Zodiacs used themselves as 1 level 4 for an entire 7 material for an Xyz monster, for a rank 4 Xyz. That had not once per turn negation. So yeah, you can see why almost half of it got banned. And how very quick it got banned. But we're not talking about Zodiacs, we're talking about rzyeal. Now, obviously, people are freaking out because, yeah, they've had experience with rank 4 turbo decks in the past, and how much it's sort of changed the matter of how people deal with, swarm decks. And a great example of that is obviously insects have no competitiveness whatsoever. Well, insects can sort of be with crawlers, but yeah, it's very iffy. I mean, Bee Trooper itself is like one of, if not the most well-known insect decks to try and reach competitiveness, but yeah, didn't do well. I mean, Bee Trooper is Battle Boss, my apologies. So, yeah. Why am I talking about this rank 4 deck? Like, what do I know, eh? So you see, I kind of made some, obviously wanted to play the deck myself. I kind of printed off some proxy cards and been practicing with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Obviously, through playtesting and everything, I don't see why people are worried. Because yes, rzyeal itself is quite powerful. But you forgot one thing. Rank 4 turbo decks don't last long either. Obviously, in Zodiac's case, it basically reigned for a long time because of how Zodiacs work. But because how rzyeal is not a direct descendant of it, so not one material for an entire Xyz combo line, you still have to use obviously 2 materials or 3 materials or how many materials you want for an Xyz to gain the effects. Now obviously, people think, oh, hit Duo Drive, it'd be easier. Why would you wait on Duo Drive? Like, I get it's your, negate thing, but you also have like stuff like Infinite Impermanence, Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Nibiru. So like you got 4 hand traps there that can hit a deck that relies a lot on locking themselves into rank 4s. Which is also another weakness to rzyeal. It literally locks itself into a rank 4 no matter what scenario you go to. You have Xyz rzyeal in hand, special summon it by sending an Xyz, you're locked into rank 4s. If there's a rzyeal monster on field or graveyard, special summon food. Special summon sword rzyeal, you're locked into rank 4s. If there's an Xyz monster in the graveyard, special summon ice rzyeal by sending one from hand, by sending a card from hand or field to graveyard, locked into rank 4s. And node, if there's a face-up Xyz or one in grave, special summon it, locked into rank 4s. So in other words, the deck likes to special summon a lot from hand. So I use Molcharmy as well. Molcharmy Purina? I had to get the name up, please. So literally, that literal one Molcharmy shuts down an entire deck. As well as Fluria. I'm sorry if I butchered the Molcharmy names. I'm not good with them. Because, I don't play them. So, what is another thing rzyeal is weak to? I don't know. Dimensional Barrier. Oh, I don't know. Stuff like Contact C. In other words, you could have an entire deck to counter rzyeal and somehow still lose. Sorry, I don't mean to say that like out loud. But the one thing people are worrying about with rzyeal, or their biggest mistake with rzyeal, as I've already said in the previous video with Malice, is taking it from the OCG. Now, I'm not going to explain it again today, as I've already technically done that. But comparing OCG to TCG, don't ever do that. Like, why? Because, again, like I've said, OCG is completely different to how the TCG work. Obviously, cards aren't short print to fuck in the OCG. Literally, the format's completely different. And they have a much better side event thing than we do. Whereas TCG are expensive to fuck with cards. Literally anywhere. Literally, SP when first released was like 120 pounds, may I add. Literally, we have obviously a best of 3 format, not best of 1, and we have a shittier version of what the OCG have because here in the TCG they thought, yes, this might work. This alternative format might work. No. And I know, please give us rush tools, please. But anyway, so other than obviously rzyeal itself, like obviously how to counter it, why am I saying obviously don't copy decks from the OCG? Well, this is from experimentation, obviously. So obviously between me and a Team Exodus member named Zero, so shout out to him. Basically, I tested it obviously with rzyeal with a hand trap version, obviously copying the OCG. Even though my version I had originally, which is a Time Thief version, works slightly better. Why do I say it works slightly better? You don't brick as much. Yeah, sorry, I had to get really loud with that one because, yeah, hand trap version don't work for us. Because one thing the TCG doesn't have that the OCG has is we don't have 7th Tachyon. And I'm not joking when I say this. Stop listening to the OCG. Yes, 7th Tachyon is an amazing starter for the deck. But we don't have it. So find a way around it. Again, sorry to really go out of that one. But it really pisses me off when people say, but 7th Tachyon, I'm like, yes, I know it's good. Problem is, it's going to be short printed to fuck when it comes out. It is going to be expensive to fuck when it comes out. And more importantly, only those literally that spend thousands on the game will get them. And I'm not joking when I say this. We don't have it yet because it don't come out in Feb. Literally, the end of Feb, we don't get it. If not, probably March. It is that bad that people literally, they have tunnel vision when it comes to certain cards. From literally the OCG, it's good, to the TCG. Because yes, cards in the OCG, some of them are great for the format. Some of them are amazing with certain decks. But you've got to remember, we have not got the same metagame. We have not got the same ban list. And more importantly, we don't get their cards until 2 or 3 months later. You're literally only looking through one line of vision. And that itself is really fucking annoying. Obviously, you have a main goal that you want to get to and how to obtain it. But there's a slight problem there. You have to then try and figure out what you can do with what we have and then figure out what we don't have to make it happen. And that is the biggest thing that people always seem to forget. Yes, we have Bonfire. Yes, we have the Mold Charm. We have 2 of the 3 Mold Charmies. Obviously, these are 2 factors you always take into place. We got cards that obviously the OCG don't have. Like obviously TCG exclusives like Mimigals. But what we don't have is stuff that the OCG has at the moment that actually make their, decks viable. Or even make certain decks that obviously had no competitiveness viable. Specifically, obviously, Shodan Jump cards. And yes, they can be legally played, and yes, we will never get them. because obviously it's a Japan exclusive comic thing, so we'll never get it, which is the annoying thing. Because some cards from Sojin Jump actually help decks, and this is not a joke. Magius, a archetype obviously released to both, kind of okay upon release, but okay, sorry about that. Obviously great on release, and then obviously die down. Obviously with the OCG stories, they have gotten a immense boost of consistency, with new cards being released and everything else. Main problem is obviously one of the cards, or some of them, are only released in Shonen Jump, which means they won't come here but will stay in Japan, which means we will never get them. So yeah, have fun with that. And also, people are obviously considering, meta games, obviously from the OCG, before they even appear here. Like, it physically hurts to see people obviously have tunnel vision and then not expand out after the tunnel and stick to that tunnel. Like, it really hurts me, like, generally on a level that it's hard to explain. But yeah, that's my opinion. For rzyeal, basically, one way to obviously beat rzyeal is like, anything that attributes to their monsters. Heck, even after attributing Super Poly, I don't know, you can also use a shit ton of hand traps or infinite impermanence on obviously earlier parts of the combo just to slow them down. Because let's be realistic, if you're going against rzyeal, you can at least have like 12 to 15 hand traps. And that's just a standard deck. So don't worry about rzyeal. Yes, it's a rank 4 turbo deck, rank 4 Xyz, toolbox deck, but it ain't hard to beat. And that's coming from me, that's also probably going to use it at some point. In fact, I've almost got all of it built as of, the date of recording. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications if you obviously want to keep watching 12 days of content. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This is rzyeal signing out.